the end of an era. This is it. This is going to be the last G model here. Base is closing forever. Opportunity gone for me at this place. I loved it here.
You're looking at all that remains of Wurtsmith's B-52 bomber squadron. Old Crow Express is being refueled and repaired for its final mission, a 4.5-hour trip to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona.
Inboard.
Sergeant Ron Williams is one of the last crew chiefs at Wurtsmith. He and the Old Crow have been through a lot together, and he's proud to say his bird is a war hero.
Flew the most missions out in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. We dropped a lot of bombs and did a good job, and we laid waste to them. We gave them what they deserved.
Sergeant Williams and the rest of the crew chiefs have already gotten their new assignments. Their jobs at Wurtsmith are over just as soon as the Old Crow lifts off the ground.
Is that too tight?
Time is also running short for the guys at Life Support. I'm their last customer. Without airplanes, there's no need for their assistance. Nearly every building that deals with aircraft is shut down or will shut down just as soon as the Old Crow leaves the area. Air traffic controllers, radar maintenance, and even the weather center will be vacant after the final B-52 clears the airspace. It's 7 a.m. and ice coats the wings of the Old Crow Express. 3 of the last 4 pilots left on the base will fly the plane to Arizona. This is my 3rd flight aboard a B-52 bomber, and most likely my last. It's also the last for Wurtsmith Commander Bill Campbell and for Captain Mark Schlittke, who will train on the B-1 bomber next year. Also on the historic flight are co-pilot Barry Sebring and Public Affairs Officer John Tillis.
4 minutes from takeoff, crew. Everybody get strapped in, please. Radar up, ready to go.
The crew carefully checks the plane and slowly starts a final taxi down runway 24. 8 turbojet engines rev up, and the plane lumbers down the runway and into mid-Michigan history. The majority of the 4.5-hour flight was clouded, but the visibility got a lot better at exactly the right moment, over the Rocky Mountains and the Grand Canyon. Tucson was still miles away, but the crew was already reflecting on touchdown and the end of the line for the 379th Bomb Squadron.
We've been around since World War II in one stage or another, and the aircraft itself's been around for 35 years. You combine the two of them and you have quite an illustrious history, and it's kind of a shame to pack it up in a box.
Captain Sebring is the only member of the crew that will ever fly on a B-52 again. He'll continue as an instructor at his new assignment in California.
3 miles from touchdown.
This is, however, the last landing for Colonel Bill Campbell.
Decision right. 01, taking over easily. Nice approach, sir. Thank you. 01, roger, maintenance frequency till after landing.
These last minutes in the B-52 are the end to the Colonel's nearly 2,000 hours in the Stratofortress. Old Crow is not only his last sortie or flight, but the last of his squadron. The other planes that made up the 379th are now resting in the desert, waiting for the last of their squadron to join them. Mechanics begin the storage process immediately. The engines are covered and pumped dry, and the final equipment is removed from the aircraft. Meanwhile, the crew has a traditional salute for their commander.
It is, it's warm. I shouldn't have told him that.
What's the tradition?
What's that guy's name? Where's the gun? Get the gun.
What's the tradition?
Last flight. Wet, cold. It's better than down south, though, I have to tell you.
It'll take some time for Old Crow Express to be fully prepared for her storage in the Arizona desert. Her engines and tanks will be oiled, and she'll join 300 other planes who are awaiting disassembly next May. We'll take a closer look at that process tomorrow.